The first item that we took up was the Viksit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajeevika Mission Gramin Act 2005. As you're aware that this is a new act in place of the MGNREG Act, and this has been enhanced now, and provisions like from minimum working days of 100 to increasing them to 125 days. This has been taken up in the new act, and other aspects of increasing the overall scope of work, where earlier projects like roads and connectivity were not given priority. They are now given priority. Earlier, Anganwadi centers, they were not allowed to be built under the MGNREGS scheme, but under this new Rozgar and Ajeevika mission, Gramin, you're allowed to build Anganwadi centers also. Similarly, schools were not allowed to be built in the earlier MGNREGS, but in the new guidelines, they have increased the number of projects. So now school buildings are allowed. Different programs for livelihood, which were not allowed in the beginning. Today, specific livelihood programs can also be taken up. Different programs related to environment, water conservation, forest conservation. All of these programs can now be taken up. So there were earlier about 240 or 250 items you could take up. Now those items have gone up to 300 plus, almost 320 items have been included in the new act. And hence, this had to be adopted and passed by the cabinet, which we have done today. Apart from that, the Government of India has sanctioned 1,100 crores as the normative allotment for Meghalaya for the next 9 months, because the implementation of this project will start tomorrow of this new act. So from 1st of July till 31st of March, this will be implemented by Meghalaya. For the first quarter, from April, May to June, the old MGNREGS scheme was being implemented with the old guidelines and the old act. But from tomorrow, the new guidelines and the new act will be applicable. And for this period of 9 months, from July to March 31st, the normative allotment given to Meghalaya is 1,100 crores. What is critical to know in this particular scheme is that the 1,100 crores is the normative allotment, and if the normative allotment goes beyond beyond the normative allotment, so suppose we end up spending 1,200 crores, so instead of 100 crores, the 1,100 crores is going to be shared as at 90-10 ratio, where 90% is paid by central government and 10% is paid by the state government. But when it comes to going beyond the normative allotment, the states will have to bear the full amount of the additional amount that you spend. So if you end up spending 1,200 crores, then that 100 crores will fall completely on the state governments. So this is some issue and concern. We are hoping that this will be addressed in the coming years. As you're aware, in the last many years, especially from 2018 onwards, Meghalaya has performed exceptionally well, and almost every year in the last many years, Meghalaya has been able to take more than double of the normative allotment given to the state in most of the years. So where our normative allotment usually could be sometimes 700 crores, 800 crores in MGNREGS, there were years where we had ended up utilizing and spending almost close to 1,600 crores, which means the capacity to absorb had gone up. And that happened, and that's why we got, instead of getting 700 crores, which is what we were supposed to, in some years we got 1,600 crores, 1,500 crores. And that allowed us to spend more, and that also was a 90-10 ratio. But in the new scheme and new policy, for this year at least, if we go beyond our normative allotment of 1,100 crores, Meghalaya government will have to, not just us, every other state also will have to. So it's kind of a negative marking for states who are performing well and are able to take beyond the normative allotment, are able to absorb more funds, which Meghalaya was able to do in the last 7 years continuously. So we are concerned about this, because we know that we can do more We know that we can absorb more. Our man days under MGNREGS is almost touching, one of the highest in the country, where, most of the states are not able to utilize 100 days, but Meghalaya is like always 90 plus, because it requires continuous work, effort at the block level, at the level of the officers, at the secretariat level, and the competency at the VECs, where they need to demand the work, which needs to be then approved. So all of these things requires continuous effort and support, and only then are you able to utilize the money and the funds in a proper manner. And Meghalaya has been able to do that. So one of our concerns regarding the new act, which of course we will take up, and we hope that next year this particular aspect will not be there, which is, as I said, the limit of the normative allotment of 1,100 crores for these 9 months. Of course, since for 9 months it's 1,100 crores, so for 12 months, I expect that will be about 1,500 to 1,600 crores. We expect that next year our normative allotment should go up, and we're hopeful that government will not put a cap on the normative allotments and allow the states to absorb as per their capacity. Again, this is in line with what we were talking about, the externally aided projects, where caps were put by Government of India because Government of India pays back our loans. But then we ensured that we were able to get more because of the capacity to absorb and the projects we put in, the professional level at which we worked. We were able to get more projects from different funding agencies. But Government of India put a cap on what Meghalaya could do or take, because at the end of the day, center is repaying back the loan that we take, 90% of it. So it's similar to that. So we hope that next year that particular aspect will change.